So the NCAA football season for 2020 is certainly in the balance. There's no doubt about that. I'm Matt Levine. Welcome right now to the 954 Sports.com YouTube channel. I thank you for stopping by, paying a visit. Big news out of the sports world today regarding college football. You knew with all that's happened in the sports world and falls and the college football season, the return to campus for colleges and universities throughout the country, that it was just a matter of time before it was addressed what would happen with the upcoming football season in 2020 in the NC2A. Certainly, time waits for no man, as the saying goes, right? Well, lots on the docket right now. Yesterday, the Big Ten fell. They canceled their upcoming fall season for their respective sports. Now, we know the Big Ten, one of the Power 5 conferences. Well, today, another one bit the dust, as Freddie Mercury and Queen would say, and unfortunately, it encompasses my alma mater, which I'll talk about in a moment. Arizona State University, of course, part of the Pac-12. I'll always consider them the Pac-10. I am old school. So the Big Ten yesterday, Pac-10 I should say, Big Ten Monday, Pac-10 Tuesday. Here we are Wednesday. We shall see what is next. So far as the other three conferences go in the Big 12, the ACC and SEC, they have yet to alter plans for the upcoming fall season. So right now they say they are good to go. Both conferences released statements today. Let's take a look at what the SEC had to say. As you see the statement there by the SEC, and it reads from their commissioner, Greg Sankey. I look forward to learning more about the factors that the Big Ten and Pac-12 leadership to take these actions today. I remain comfortable with the thorough and deliberate approach that the Southeast Conference and our 14 members are taking to support a healthy environment to our student athletes. Again, Mr. Greg Sankey. So that is the SEC with all those great schools, right? Alabama, Auburn, Kentucky, Tennessee, Georgia, Florida, so on and so forth. As for the Atlantic Coast Conference, well, there was a statement today by the ACC, and it said, "We are pleased with the protocols being administered on our 15 campuses. We will continue to follow our process that has been shown in place for months and has served us well. We understand the need to stay flexible and be prepared to adjust as medical information and the landscape evolves." What does that mean? You may have to call an audible. See what happens. Take it day by day is the way I digest that. Now, the Big 12, they could be the deal breaker in all this, right? SEC, ACC, just showed you what they had to say. Big 12, they had a meeting today with their board members. They say for now, they are continuing to look to follow on plans to keep things on the rails and have a football season this fall. We shall see. Those sources reporting tonight via ESPN. So, very interesting right now with what's going on with those Power 5 conferences, which of course will trickle down to the other conferences, and I'll talk about that in a moment. For instance, if the Big 12 did continue on the path, the other conferences I talked about and showed you the statements for, the SEC and ACC, they're going to have to alter plans. The Big 12, I can give you an example. They say they would have a revised schedule where they'd have 9 conference games, 1 non-conference game. You get 10. Start the season delayed almost a month past where it would usually begin at September 26th, right around Labor Day weekend. Everything usually gets underway, so about a 3-week delay, thereabouts. Outside of the Big Five, like I said, it will trickle down. Some other conferences, they have put the brakes on their fall plans, on the gridiron. The Mountain West, Mid-American. Some conferences say they'll continue on. The Sun Belt, for one, is expected to follow the lead of the SEC and the American Athletic Conference. They say, for now, they're on track to play football. As for the players, as you can imagine, at least as I can imagine, most of them would be in favor of playing. This is a very, very delicate position for the players to be in. I cannot imagine. There's a couple of ways to look at it, right? You take what science tells you, and maybe you take the safe route. Better be safe than sorry, the way that the Pac-12 and Big Ten seem to have approached things. Or you take the medical science and you roll the dice, thinking that for the most part, these athletes would be, I don't want to say in a bubble environment like the NBA, it's not the case, but they would be together, I would think, in isolated circumstances where they would be at less risk. They would certainly be on a regimented schedule. You know they would get outstanding medical treatment with the trainers and doctors involved with these programs, and they would probably be, with that regimented schedule, better off overall, I would think, as student athletes. And you cannot disrespect the love of the game that I would say 99% of these guys have, right? I'm sure all of them are dreamers to go on to the next level, but only a few minuscule do. They're playing for an education, and their time is short. Their window is short. There's only so many years you get to play college football, and God forbid there's an injury. So if you're a healthy college football player right now and you got your 4 years of eligibility and you're not one of these superstar blue chippers, which again are far and few, every opportunity you get to suit up and go on the field is precious. And these guys nowadays, with the way sports medicine and nutrition and sports fitness have evolved, they are year-round athletes. They are trained athletes that are well aware what their body can do. They're trained specifically to have a weight to accompany their frame, their height. And they really are blue chippers in every sense of the term. I feel for any kid right now in college. I mean, for college, for me, I said I'll talk about ASU. College was just the greatest experience ever. And I managed to even get a degree. It's right there on the wall. Someday I'll have to show you. But for these kids today, it's tough. And for the college student athlete, you know, it really is heartbreaking in a lot of ways. So I understand the players' desire to want to go out there and play ball. And, you know, take it upon themselves to be given the responsibility that they can be adults, make the decision for themselves, and be cautious, take all the precautions necessary to be safe and prevent picking up COVID-19, the coronavirus. Man, that thing has done some damage in every single walk of life. Now here we have it as an entree to our sports for the fall in college football, which is so beloved in the United States of America, as much as for the play as the pageantry. And it is alive and well here in the South where I live in Florida, I'll tell you that much. Doesn't get bigger than this in South Florida. Right? It's Kane's thing. The U. Anyway, part of the players saying we want to play is the hashtag there. was by the quarterback at Clemson, Trevor Lawrence. And there's a hashtag, right? As they were able to get this thing moving along on the social media tracks. Quarterback of North Carolina, one of those guys who jumped on board, Sam Howell. He continued with the hashtag, and it went throughout the ranks of college football with some of the biggest and brightest and all the football players, basically stating what they want to do. They want to play this season. Establish universal health and safety protocols to protect college athletes against COVID-19 throughout the conferences in the NCAA, as you can see, the statement there, and it goes on with a full specific bullet points on what Trevor Lawrence and a host of college football players are hoping to get across with their point. Says it all again in the hashtag, right? We want to play. So I give them a lot of credit. It seems like a very well-spoken kid, that Trevor Lawrence. He's got pro talent. You know, he came back purposely to play college football for another season. He's good enough to go to the pros. He's good enough to go last year in the draft. So you know how precious that season is to him. So I get it. And as the players spoke, well, there were plenty of other opinions for the guys who don't suit up on Sunday, including POTUS, Donald Trump, the President of the United States. Let's all take a look and listen to what he had to say at his press conference this afternoon.
As we safely restore our great economy and reopen our schools, and hopefully we can watch colleges play football. We want to get football in colleges. These are young, strong people. They won't have a big problem with the China virus. So we want to see college football start, and hopefully a lot of great people are going to be out there. They're going to be out there playing football, and they'll be able to fight it off, and hopefully it won't bother them one bit. Most of them will never get it, statistically. We'll see more cases at some point, and we will eventually develop sufficient immunity in addition to everything else that we're doing. So college football, get out there and play football. People want to see it. And stand for your American flag, stand for your national anthem.
And there you have it from the President of the United States, Donald Trump, and his opinion. So, President shares his opinion, and, you know, again, it's a hotly debated topic. Hate to see it become a political one. Really do. As some pundits tend to think it may be as well. Lots of politics and sports. In fact, give myself the self-plug. Go check out the video I did just about a day ago on politics and sports not mixing. I'll give you some thoughts, and even some thoughts on some of the areas that President Trump in that soundbite just touched on. Now, as far as my university goes, I said I would touch on that. Arizona State University, for the first time since 1945, will not play a fall season of football. ASU, with their head coach Herm Edwards, building off an 8-5 campaign, loaded with talent, was expected to open on September the 3rd against Northern Arizona. How much will colleges like ASU miss their football program? Money, money, money. Well, get this. ASU football, they accounted for $50 million of the $121 million taken in revenue by ASU sports last year. The Greenbacks, they'll be missed in Sin City as well. You can bet that, right? Been known to throw a parlay or two in my day. But this year, The games will be limited. If there will be games at all, we shall see in Las Vegas and at the Mega Sportsbooks. I think that is MGM, not certain. So again, for the first time since these brave souls stormed the beach at Normandy in World War II, there will not be college football for my alma mater and my Sun Devils. Unbelievable. We'll see when it gets back. We'll see when we are able to see sites like this. Long touchdown runs, speaking of the U. That was Duke, right? Certainly will miss the college football. One of the things I just love about Saturday is having it on in the background. And I love watching the ESPN show with Corso and Kirk Herbstreit and Reese Davis. And the pregame show they do is tremendous. And then you get 12 o'clock Eastern all the way to 3 a.m., right? You always get that late random Hawaii game on. So it's nearly nonstop for about 18, 19 hours a day on Saturday. And again, as I said, the pageantry, it's a big part of the thread that knits together what a beautiful thing college football is, coast to coast, especially again down here in the South. But we'll see. We'll see if we get limited action on the gridiron. We'll see what happens with the rest of the Big Five power conferences. Again, the Big 12 especially expected to be a pivotal one. So right now, the SEC, the Big 12, and the ACC, they're alive for now. Pac-12, Big 10 are out. We'll see how things shake out the rest of the week. And we'll see if we have college football at all this fall.